so much for coming to Soul Sessions.
Thank you for having me. This has been so beautiful.
Very amazing performance. I want to go through past, present, future. But I think you may have already hit on this a little bit in speaking throughout your performance, but I play the viola. So as playing the viola, I am constantly working on musicianship.
Yes.
And I feel like your quality of your tone is so fantastic. And, it's not just hitting the notes and getting the rhythm correct, but it's about actually like leading into every note and getting the phrasing just right. And I just feel like you do such a great job with that. So I want to know how much of that is organic, you're just lucky, you just wake up like that, and how much of it you train for. And I mean, you take lessons, do you work actively still for improving that?
Yeah, thank you for that. That's a really good question. So I think it's a little bit of all of the above. I did take professional voice lessons for strenuously for like a couple of months, and then that voice teacher went on to become my manager, and I worked with him professionally for years. And so he would, train me and like work on specific pieces if I was having a hard time. So I learned a lot from him. He was a really excellent voice teacher. If he did have one good thing to offer the world, he was a very good voice teacher. Then I just sang a lot, I did the math, I think over the course of like 10 to 12 years of singing. I've done close to 2,000, 2,500 shows of some type. Whether it was like 2 songs for a special event or 4 or 5 hours of songs in a night, which is chaotic and no one should be doing. It's so much work and really hard for your body. But anyway, so I think, just a lot of organic experience from that. And I think the phrasing and tone has a lot to just do with my natural instrument. As we know with like violas, the wood that they're made out of, the shape that they're made out of, the craftsmanship is going to change their tone and their quality. And like we just have, this is an instrument, right? This is just whatever the cavity of my chest and my face and all that stuff is going to make the sound that I have. But there's so much to glean from that, and so much to work on and improve there with vocal exercises and just getting to know your instrument. And I actually am a vocal coach now and work with singers mostly on their creativity and how to get in tune with their instrument. Our culture teaches us to do the complete opposite and go as far away from our body as possible. And so I think a lot of singing is just getting comfortable with what our bodies can do, and there not being any shame or discomfort or fear around the amazingness that can happen inside of us, whether you're a singer or a speaker or just someone who wants to share authentically. So it's a little bit of all, and I do work on my voice pretty frequently. I didn't warm up this time because it was just a really stressful day and a long ride, and I needed like a good podcast, and no vocal warm-ups. But typically, like especially if I'm working for a couple of hours at night, I do like a pretty strenuous workout and make sure that my vocal cords are warmed up and ready to go.
Okay, so podcast, what did you listen to?
So I just found My Sweet Bobby. Okay, yeah, this is crazy. I can't say everything because it'll spoil it. But it's basically like this woman who goes through a severe, like 10-year-long catfishing experience. Oh. Yeah. I'm a little fascinated with that whole thing. Like, not morbidly, but like, I'll listen to that story if someone like in real life has gotten catfish, and it's really, really rough and really bad, like how it all turns out. She's fine, everyone's safe, nothing terrible happened, but really crazy, fascinating story. So I listened to that on the way over and finished it, and I'm like, what? Just totally wild. Typically, I'm a big reader, so I'm typically listening to like the nerdiest of all book podcasts, just like listening to other people talk about the books they're reading.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like morbid true crime stuff or books.
Isn't that how they'll work?
Yeah, pretty much. Yes.
Okay. So then rewind.
Yes.
How did you, and when I ask how did you get into music, I guess I mean it twofold. Like I'm always curious about, like, as a child, how you
Yeah.
became introduced to music, and then when you felt like it was something like real to you, in as far as like something to continue to foster and go after in life as like a primary focal point for you, like those two, like not moments exactly, but yeah. Tell me about that.
My childhood with music was, my mom has told me recently that like I used to like find different like pitches on like the metal equipment at playgrounds, like with like rocks and sticks. I'd be like, bow, 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 bow. She was like, kids doing music on the playground. So I think they were immediately like, I probably need to look into some music lessons for her. And my dad was super into that and put me in piano lessons like real tiny, like 4 years old. And I wound up like hating playing the piano because I was like forced to practice.
Right.
Like, I'm a piano teacher as well, and I do not make my kids practice. That's like first out the gate with their parents. Don't force this child to play this piano.
I feel very validated because my son is 6. He takes piano lessons. I don't make him practice. And it's like, it feels like this, really bad thing I shouldn't talk about. But I'm like, as a musician, I just don't want to suck the love out of it yet.
Absolutely not. If he continues to want to do it and he wants to take it seriously, and like he's going to be taking lessons every weekend for the rest of his childhood and his teen years, maybe some practice would be in order. But yeah, I mean, if I'm teaching anyone at all who isn't like, I'm planning on being a concert musician, I'm like, I'm just here to teach you a skill and get you interested in the art of making music, and that's it. So anyways, and then I was just like really obsessed with like recording stuff, like reading liner notes as a kid, and just like I would notice pieces of the record and music that my parents would be like, oh, I didn't hear that at first. I was just like really into all the layers of what was going on musically. Sang a little bit in high school, played violin in middle school. I was put in an honors chorus group, but like I could read music and I had a really low register. I didn't sing. I was so quiet. I was so scared to sing in that, but like I could do like honors chorus stuff, right? I could like read the harmony lines, and so like I was kind of exposed to like really good singers in that scenario, but I just had good pitch and felt really out of place in there. And then when I moved to Nashville, I went there with my mom for her job, and I had not really learned the guitar, wanted to learn the guitar, signed up for lessons with who then became my vocal coach and manager. I remember my first couple of lessons on the guitar, he was like, I bet you could sing. And I'm like, I really don't want to, man. Like,
okay, so at this point, how old are you approximately?
Like 19, 20.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 probably. So he eventually kind of wore me down, and I was like, fine, I will sing I Will Always Love You by Dolly Parton. And I had like learned that basic chord progression at that point, and he was like, hey, you actually have something going on there. And I was like, I do not. And he was like, yes, you do. And I was like, okay. And so I took like a couple of guitar voice hybrid lessons from him, and like within 3 or 4 lessons I was hooked. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I think this is actually part of my life. And I immediately started getting work, and Nashville's a weird town, so I was surrounded by like, some of the top dogs in our industry, people who've made the music we listen to still today, and like some of the classics in the country music world and the blues world. And so I just was kind of exposed really early on, and just was like, oh, I think this is my life, Going through what I did with that manager, almost took me out of it. I mean, like I really easily could have walked away, and I did for a little while, and it doesn't work. Every time I try to like put it down, like I either get sick or something forces me back into it, or someone calls me up and is like, hey, can I, write a song with you or play guitar for you, or my band needs a singer, and I can't say no. And so I took a break for about 2 years. It felt really weird to separate from music like that. And then I met my Nashville bandmates and we started making music and I started writing with them. And COVID happened. I moved up here. um, Thought I was never going to do music again after that too. And then found work and started writing all by myself for the first time. And yeah, so there's been a couple of iterations of me going, this is actually my life. And I'm in my like probably third or fourth at this point. One of my best friends quits music every day. She calls me like, I quit again. I'm like, I know you did, girl. I know. It's like every day.
She'll be back.
She'll be back, and she's so good. Yes.
So songwriting, what is your process? How did you determine your process? What's that like for you?
I don't have a determination with my process. I do find that it comes and goes. I would love to have a better practice. And I find that I can get into a practice for like a few weeks at a time, and then it's like, I'll never write a song again, is how it feels, which is so inaccurate. But I really do. Sometimes I walk away from a song and go, that'll never happen again. But my process is just kind of like I get in the flow, and sometimes songs just like come through and they'll happen. And like Blessing Spot was written in 10 minutes. And then like I have, Love's the Only Thing was 2 songs, and it took months and months for us to figure out that that was a 1-song thing. I write with the piano, the guitar, sometimes just a cappella. Sometimes I like wake up with melodies in my brain or words or names, and I just like write that stuff down. Like sometimes I'll like stumble over to my piano half asleep, and my partner will be like, what is going on? And like just bang out some like really nebulous, not even music stuff onto my phone, and I'll go back and listen to it a week later and be like, oh, that was crazy, or oh, there's a song in there. So it really just kind of depends, it seems like, on how the song wants to come through. Yeah, so I just kind of show up and hope that I can apply my skill and care to the music as it's like making its way onto the planet for our ears. I think that's what songs do, truly. I think they're like an energy that kind of want to be here, and they find, the people who can make them happen. And if you don't catch it, then someone else will. So I'm like, okay, I'll try. And sometimes it goes well, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to do, and I just walk away. So
I love that. That's a really interesting way of thinking of that. I feel like lately I've been thinking a lot about the songs that resonate with people. And my sister and I, we have similar like listening profile, but not quite the same. So it's really interesting when you're like, oh, I think you're going to love this song. And she's like, no, it didn't do it for me. And vice versa, versus like the one song that we're like, yeah, I knew that would really, really reach you.
Yeah, and I think that's what their intention is too, right? Is to like, it doesn't have to be everybody.
Right.
It's just like, energetically speaking, I think they're like locking keys for our souls and our spirits and whatever our story is at that time. So like, it locks in or it doesn't, and it's going to with at least one person,
right?
Maybe millions, maybe 300, right. But it's valuable no matter, the quantity. Yeah. So.
Okay, so I want to know more about the album that you're creating, and then I want to know more about what your day-to-day looks like.
Okay, the album, working title is Big New Heart.
Okay.
Yeah. Almost done. I've released 3 tracks from it so far, and I plan on doing at least one more as a single before I put the full project out. I produced the whole thing top to bottom. I met with a couple producers in Nashville they're just excellent producers, and I think would have honored my music deeply, or I wouldn't have been in a room with them. One of them has a console that like Fleetwood Mac like recorded on, and I was like, that's enough to get me in the door. And I was at home sweeping up my floors, and I had this like deep, like it literally brought me to my knees, this deep like don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And I was like, what? Like, why? Like, I know it's time to record this record, and I've got the songs, and then it was like almost like I'm not gonna say it was like an actual voice, because I don't really have that experience very much, but it was like just a knowing that just like dropped into me that it was mine to produce, and it was like absolutely critical for this project for me to produce it myself. And that really freaked me out. I was like, nope, that sounds insane. But I was like, okay. And I actually started crying and like called my partner and was like, dude, I think that I've got to produce this record on my own. And I didn't really know anybody in Nashville, not enough to like put a band together for a very expensive record. You know, that's stuff you don't do without going in knowing what you're getting, right? And yeah, so the whole thing was just totally insane. But I had a couple people that I could trust. Jeff Sipe is a renowned world-class drummer who lives in our area. He's worked with like Tedeschi Trucks and Taj Mahal, and he's like such a crazy drummer and such an amazing man. Called him first and was like, I gotta produce this record. Will you drum on it for me? And he was like, of course. And I was like, but I need your help because I don't know anybody. I don't know what to do from here. So he gave me a couple suggestions of people to check out and look into. And I kind of did my shopping that way through Instagram posts and YouTube videos, and just found the musicians that felt right and sent them my songs, and it worked out beautifully. And I hired a sound engineer kind of in the same way, and he happened to be able to commit, as long as I can pay him, of course, commit a lot of time to working on this with me. So I've been able to take the tracks from that project that we did, full studio, full band, or in the studio with a full band, and then we've got to really take like step by step every single little tiny breath that I want to with this project, and make sure that everything sounds and feels the way that I want it to. And that's just been so special and such a gift. And I don't think I could have done any of that if I had hired someone to produce it for me. I would have, one, run out of money, and two, I wouldn't have had the autonomy that I have with this. So I'm really proud of it and can't wait to get it out. I should have it out like by the end of summer at the latest. Yeah. So I don't know. Awesome. It's all on me, right? So yeah. I'm like, ain't nobody forcing me to finish it at any time. So I just am kind of, until it's ready, it's still in the works. So
that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Day to day, what do you mean by that?
You said that you coach a little bit, that you do lessons, you're working on this album. So, is it a little bit of all of those things in one day? Is there anything else going on that you haven't already talked about? Like, what is it that you're actually like, what's your day? What's tomorrow look like for you?
Yeah, tomorrow I'm going back home and spending Mother's Day with my mom. Tuesday, I'm going down to Charleston with my trio, which is Jeff Sipe and Chris Rosser on keys. And we have a private beach event thing that we're playing, which will be really fun and sweet. So I spend a lot of time with my players, and I have a trio, a duo, and a full band. And then I do a lot of solo work still. So there's a balance of prepping for each show, which can be this much work or weeks of preparation. I kind of scaled back my teaching business a little bit. This is softball and soccer season, so all of my kids are I'm gonna do sports instead of music, and they'll be back to visit me next season, and I may or may not have time or space for that. I do a little bit of specialized coaching for adults with singing and creativity work. And I'm in Nashville sometimes 2 or 3 times a week working on the record. I'll take a month or 2 off and then go kind of crucible it and really work for a couple days straight and then take a break. I read a lot, I hike a lot, I rehearse with my groups quite a bit. just like try to rest, you know. I'm really, really grateful, like with the setup that I've got right now, where I'm, you know, I'm not exactly like financially raking it in yet, right? I mean, it's like such a journey to get to a really stable place as an artist, but like to be able to focus my energy on what I really want to do, while occasionally helping other people discover their relationship with music and nurture that is really special. Feels really good. And I have I can't announce what artist it is yet, but I got hired to produce a record in September.
That's great.
I know, I'm so excited. She's phenomenal, and is a Western North Carolina gem and jewel. So we're prepping for that, and yeah, so I'm really excited about that. It'll be my first production project outside of my own music.
So it's like a new path.
Yes, yeah, I did walk away from producing my record. Like, I think the last day that I walked out of the studio, I was like, this absolutely has to be a part of my life.
Okay.
Not necessarily like always spending X amount of thousands of dollars on a record for myself, because holy crap, I can't do that again. Not in the foreseeable future, but I just knew like the creation of music and like getting it recorded and brought to life in just that sacred, incredible soup of creativity. I was like, this can't be the only time I do this. And it's different than just showing up and singing your songs to like from top to bottom, you know, like this is how I want this to sound, like do this thing with your guitar, or just like the art of getting the right people in the room. And being able to watch the magic unfold and say, that's it, or like, that's it, but let's try it this way. I just was like, so lit up by it. And I've told you, like, since I was a kid, it was like liner notes. Like, who was playing that banjo on that Fleetwood Mac song? Lindsey Buckingham, of course, but like, you know, just like obsessively going through the sounds that it takes to make a record what they are. So it was just super cool to get to do that, like, and really be a part of it instead of just going, oh wow, that sounds great, thank you, which is what I did with my last project. So yeah, when my friend came to me, I was like, whoa, yeah, I think I do want to produce a record for you and with you. So I have no idea how it's gonna go, but one of the mantras we keep repeating to ourselves is like, we get what we get. And because of her and her music, it will be magic, right? And we will be holding, like, I consider us like song doulas. We'll just be holding the space and making sure that they have a safe, sacred room to come into. And here you go, you know? So, anyways,
cool.
It's exciting.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you have coming on the horizon for the future?
Yeah, mostly getting my record out, starting on this record with my friend. So those will probably be happening pretty back to back, honestly, looking at the time frame of that. I have quite a few shows coming up this year. Looking for, you know, more people to be on my team business-wise, as we were speaking earlier. So I'm just kind of like, I'm still in a real building state right now, which feels good. Sometimes I feel really, really impatient about it. I'm like, I just want the answers and the people's names on a piece of paper and their numbers and be like, hey, it's time to start doing our thing together. But that's not how it works, you know. I'm in the process of just manifesting and creating those connections energetically, and trusting that like I've committed myself to this path. That doesn't mean I have to know where it's taking me or what it's going to look like, but I'm on it, and so I'm just kind of like every day just showing up for it. But I don't know if there's anything else other than just like shows, producing a record, and you know, hopefully getting back into a really solid writing practice. I'm gonna put that on my goals for the rest of the year. Oh, I'm working on a poetry book. I have no plans on when that will be done and ready, but that's something that I'm like working on. I really love writing poetry, and think songs are poems, and poems can be songs, and so I've really been diving into that, and that'll probably be a couple of years project, but I'm doing that on the side, which has been really sweet and beautiful. So
that seems like that'll definitely set you up for your writing practices, right?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think that might be the key, and I just keep going. Oh, do I have time? Am I really ready to step into this? Because, you know, I think sometimes the greatest things, you know, like in our creative life can sometimes feel really scary and overwhelming, which is beautiful. But, you know, it's kind of like I'm just looking at it going, are we ready for each other? Are we ready? So I think it's time for sure, but.
Okay, so this last one, I don't know how applicable it is to you, but
okay.
I'm going to ask you to try your favorite spot in Winston.
My favorite spot in Winston.
It can be an eatery, it can be the
okay.
compound, it can be anywhere you want.
I would have to say here. Yeah, good. Okay, thank you for. She didn't feed that to me at all. But truly, I mean, I haven't experienced Winston-Salem very much yet. I've only been here like twice, and it's been like fever trips, like
in and out,
running in and out. Yeah, Casciabelli is one of my good friends, and I met her through Songbird Supper Club, and so I always make sure to see her. So she's one of my favorite places. Just
That's
like
awesome.
her and her presence, she's such a love. The bookstore that is here in downtown. What is it called? Bookmarks. Yes, that place. What? That's like the coolest bookstore I've been into in a very long time. So. Those three.
All right, that's great. All right, so the last thing I have, okay, I selected these with you in mind.
Okay. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting.
Lyrically correct. This is the 90s pop, 90s and 2000 pop edition.
Okay.
So it's lyric trivia.
Oh, heck yes.
Okay, so, yeah. I think that the one thing that I'm going to ask is that you sing us to your answer. You just show your work.
Okay.
So you can't just tell me the answer.
Oh.
Yeah, you're going to have to help. And obviously, like, audience participation is super welcome.
Okay.
Okay, you mentioned this. So at least this, the original. So in I Will Always Love You, what is Whitney Houston taking with her?
Bittersweet memories, that is all I'm taking with me.
You got it.
So goodbye.
All right, that was okay. That was a good start.
That was easy.
It was.
I think.
I hoped it would be.
Okay.
Next, I'm gonna give you this Jennifer Lopez one.
Oh, hell yeah.
If you had her love and she gave you all her trust, Jennifer Lopez wants to know if you would do what for her?
Oh no. this might be an immediate fail. Can I get a hint, like music video vibes? Do you know? I'm trying to visualize.
I mean, I really shouldn't, but all I can offer you is a fill in the blank. If you had my love and I gave you all my trust, would you?
Oh, no. It's a complete blank. I know that song.
Oh, thank you,
Alex.
Yes, excellent. Comfort her. She wants comfort.
I heard "Come For Me" and I was like, that can't be. That feels really weird.
Yeah.
So,
but somehow
I was right-ish.
Somehow in the weird state of things today, that seems like it's more apt.
Yeah, it didn't feel.
But okay, Kelly Clarkson.
I might be able to do this. Okay.
And since you've been gone, Kelly Clarkson said he had his chance and did what with it? This one's super high, so I don't know if I can really give this one to you. No one's gonna like that.
I just went through the whole chorus in my head.
Okay, so it's not really like the
it's
chorus.
not in the chorus, yeah. Oh, I'm failing.
It's what you do with trash, right?
Well,
No?
if you don't,
Oh. You had your chance, you blew it.
There you
Out
go.
of sight, out of mind.
That's it.
Shut your mouth, I just can't take it. Okay.
keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, please keep going.
Again.
Yeah. Nice. You got it.
Brought that down a little bit.
You weren't even ready for it. You still got it. Okay. You're doing really well.
Thank you so much. That second one, my perfectionism stepping in right now.
I'm gonna give you. I'll do one more. Okay.
Okay, 2 more. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, I have 5 more
I
cards.
see that.
And so I was just gonna give you one more. Here, I'll tell you who I have. Lady Annabelle. I guess it's Lady A nowadays. Plain White Tees, Vanessa Carlton, Britney Spears, and Christina Aguilera.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, sorry, you took too long. What time was it when Hillary from Lady Antebellum was a little drunk and needed you? What time was it when Hillary from Lady Antebellum was a little drunk and needed you?
Okay, I have this. Just give me 1 second. It's 1:15. I'm all alone and I need you now. I said I wouldn't come, but I lost all control and I need you now. Is it 1:15?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah,
Got it. Yeah.
Super that small weight. That was awesome. Okay. I'll do another one.
Okay.
No, that one's kind of hard. All right. Tom from Plain White Tees wants Delilah to tell him what's it like in which city.
Hey there, Delilah, what's it like in New York City? I'm 1,000 miles away, but girl, tonight you look so pretty, yes you do. Right?
Yeah.
Is that where it's at?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Do you want to keep going?
I swear it's all because of you. I swear it's true. Oh, it's what you do to me. Oh, it's what you do to me. What you do to me. Oh. That was me and one of my boyfriends in high school song. And sister could not listen to it for 2 years. If it came on in the grocery store, I was like, I gotta go.
We all have
It
this
was
song.
so dramatic. Yeah, and when you said Plain White Tees, I was like, is that the band of the song? And it was, yeah.
Thank you, Lillie. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for your time.
thank you so much. This was so wonderful. I hope I get to do it again.
Thanks for coming.